God bless everyone on YouTube. Here again with another video. This video is titled, I've Seen the Light. So you know how Jesus said that he is the light, the way, and the truth? And he's saying that because he was the true son of the Most High. He's the true son of Yahweh, the God who created the universe. So Jesus wasn't just saying that to say it. He was obviously telling the truth. In my opinion, he was the best teacher there ever was. And I want to say that this is going to be an enlightening video, and that's what happened to me about a year ago. I believe towards the end of 2023. So you're probably wondering, what do I mean I saw the light? So look, this is exactly why I don't identify as Christian or Catholic. Like I said in a different video that I didn't want to create further division. I'm just a servant of God. I try to stay humble before God, etc. And I just try to do my part to educate people on knowledge that him and his son and his angels may give me. So listen, you remember how God came to Moses through a burning bush? So people speculate that the burning bush was weed and that he got high. Now listen, even if the bush that was burning was weed and Moses got high, that doesn't mean that he didn't see God. See, what happened was, if that burning bush in the biblical times was weed, Moses got high enough to be aware of more things. So let's talk about consciousness. What it means to be conscious is awake and aware of like what's going on. So when you're high, you're at a higher level. That's why they call it high. They don't call it getting hallucinated. No, you got high. So don't think that just because you're on a trip off of a drug that it's fake. Quite the opposite. You know, people talked about the unseen world and how their spirits, like the Bible said that, we're blind because we could only see in the third dimension, but not the fourth dimension and the other realms, unless a higher being like an angel, God, or Jesus, enlightens you and unbinds you. So basically what happened was Moses must have got high enough from the burning bush that he was now aware of God's voice. They say that we can all hear God's voice, but the problem is we don't drown out the distractions of the world. We're watching too much TV, too much TikTok, too much YouTube. You get what I'm saying? You're giving too much time and energy to the world instead of meditating, eating healthier, and being in prayer and quiet time with God. If you do all that stuff instead of feeding into the distractions, there's a higher chance you will hear the voice of God. Because God tries to reach us through signs. You guys know, like he does try to talk to basically all his children. But you have to be ready and spiritually uplifted to hear him. You have to get rid of the distractions. So basically what happened was my story was similar to Moses. So it wasn't a bush, and I'm against smoking. I'm not against people that smoke. It's just not for me. So I told my friend that I didn't want to try smoking, but I said to him, you know what? If you have an edible, I'll at least try that. Weed is legal now, whatever, it's legal. So I tried the edible. It was like a Rice Krispie treat made with weed. And what happened was, at first, I thought I only took like a small bite. At first, I felt nothing. I was like, I was too cocky. I got humbled. I was like, my mind is too strong. This can't change the way I think. I was like, nothing's going to happen. But then what happened maybe an hour after I said that, I was walking and then my legs felt numb. As if, you know how back in the days when there was Native Americans, they would go, they would have the darts and once it touches your skin, it drugs you and your body feels weak. It's like a tranquilizer. So I felt drugged. I was like, oh no. My legs were heavy. They were getting shaky. I was like, I got to sit down. So I was just drinking water. My heart started beating super fast. And I was like, what's happening? And my friends were like, it's hitting you. They were like, it's the paranoia. And I didn't feel okay. I thought about going to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it was a lot. So basically, when I was on my friend's couch just trying to feel normal again, my body was shaking and I got sweaty, and then it happened. So people don't talk about the third eye much. However, Jesus and the Bible talk about how we're blind. So to see with your spiritual eyes, we consider the third eye your real sight or the spiritual eye. I'm not lying. I was so high for the first time off of the edible that I saw an eye in my brain. Like I saw my eye, my spiritual eye. And it didn't open all the way, but it was like this. It creeped open, like as if, like that. Like, you see how this is not open, but it's not closed? It was like that. I was now awakened spiritually. I spiritually awoke. And I heard a voice. It was crazy. It said, I am God. And I was like, what? So, of course, I was skeptical at first. I heard the voice of God. And when I saw the eye, like my spiritual eye awaken, I saw flashing lights. So that was literally the light. I entered the light. I was enlightened. Listen to that word, enlight. I entered the light. And I heard the voice of God. And, I was thinking too third dimensional, too much like a human. I was like, if you're God, then how do you get rich and famous? Like, I kind of regret asking that now, because you don't get to speak to God every day. So I wish I had more time and I would speak to him about, more things. But basically, it was just an in the moment thing. I was like, if you're God and you know everything, because that's what everyone says, I said, how do you get rich and famous? And they were right. God is slow to anger and his voice is patient. He wasn't judging me or anything. He said, you create your own reality. And as soon as I heard God say that, I understood what it meant. He didn't have to explain. I understood that. That means that you have to truly believe in it, aka faith, and you have to take the necessary steps. Like, you have to work for it, because they said faith without works is dead. So I was like, wow, I really could do anything I put my mind to, because I have God within me. Like, that was the Holy Spirit speaking to me. God is within all of us. You heard it, Yahweh. That's his breath is in us. And that was the Most High talking to me. I could do anything, not because I'm special, but because God is special and God is within me and within all of us. So yeah, that I was so high. I'm not even joking, that just like Moses, I heard the voice of God. And I was asking people. That doesn't happen to most people. So I guess that truly showed how I was chosen, because many people get high, but you don't hear most of them saying they saw or heard God. So yeah. And I've never, no offense to anyone that has, but I'm just saying I've never been checked out like that. I've never had to go to a mental hospital, and mental health is not a joke. If you're not feeling okay, go get help. There's nothing wrong with that. I was just bringing that up to let you guys know I wasn't like going crazy. I really heard the voice of God. Look at how much he evolved me. I opened my heart to the Holy Spirit. He's been working in me this year. And basically what I want to say is, like, it was a very surreal experience. I'll never forget it. It was kind of scary, because when you're in that dimension, when you're that high up, like in awareness, like time moves so slow. It felt like 10 minutes passed. And when I would look at my phone, it was like, it was the same minute. And I was like, oh my God, time's not even moving. I was like, I just want to feel normal. So I asked God, I said, God, how do I feel normal again? Because it was too much for me. All the knowledge I was getting in that dimension, that higher dimension and higher realm of thought, was a lot. And the voice said, to leave here, you have to let in the distractions. And to come back, you have to get rid of all the distractions. So if you could find a quiet space and just really meditate and focus on your breath, because your breath is God's breath. He gave you the breath of life. You could possibly hear the voice of God and talk to him. No jokes. And if not, then, just let the distractions in and don't let it happen. But yeah, like when my spiritual eye awoken and I saw the flashing lights, that's the truth. Jesus himself, the main teacher of earth, said, I am the truth, the light, all of that. I saw the light. God let me see his light, our origins, where we truly came from. That day I realized how small I was. It humbled me. I'm like, this is not even like real. Like, the world is an illusion. Remember, Satan runs the world. The Bible even says God gave this earth to Satan to rule over. But God owns everything, the whole universe. And this world is just the place for God's footstool. It says that this world is just God's footstool. So yeah, like Satan is, what else is he? The master of deception. So of course, that's more evidence and proof that this world is an illusion. I got to finally see through it because my spiritual eye opened and I got to see the light and I got to hear the voice of our Father in heaven. I'm very honored that he came to me. That was one of the first times he's come to me and I've spoken to him. That was one of the first times. And yeah, guys, that's why, because I know a lot of Christians wouldn't talk about your spiritual eye being a third eye. That's why I don't identify as one religion. I'm just a servant of God. But I do believe in the God from the Bible and that Jesus is the Son. And I have a lot more to tell you guys, but I had to spread this knowledge. You could see the light. You could hear the voice of God. You have to X out the distractions, and you have to change your life. Around that time, I was eating healthier. I was not even really eating meat. I was practicing meditation. I was reading my Bible probably daily. So you have to do the spiritual work. Like, you have to grow first spiritually, and then you could one day, like, God could really come before you. And he's mysterious. He came to Moses as a bush. That time he came to me basically as because it was weed, but it was in an edible form. And yeah, like, it could happen, guys. I'm not better than any of you. I was just chosen to teach and spread the truth. And I'm doing this because I love God, and it's an honor that he chose me to spread the truth. And yeah, that's about all I have to say for this video. This one's a little longer, but it's getting information out there. And yeah, like, what I want to say, so that you guys don't believe it was only the weed's effect. A month before that happened, one night I was sleeping in the guest room in my house, and I woke up. But you know how when you're in sleep paralysis, your body's not moving, but your mind is awake? You know you're awake, but you can't move because your body's still asleep. I woke up in the guest room, and even though my eyes, my regular human eyes, were still closed, I saw the room. And I said to myself, I was not on weed. I never tried weed at that point. I told you, this is a month before I ate the edible. I said to myself, how is this possible? How am I seeing the room that I am in while my eyes are closed? We'll talk about this more, but I had to get this information out there. So you can awaken your spiritual eyes. You have to meditate more, pray more, read more, like, read the Bible, talk to God more, eat healthier. Do those type of things. Take breaks from, like, lustful things. That you have to put in the work. You have to, like, sin less and, like, eat healthier. You have to do what's good for yourself. Don't do what's good for the temporary flesh and the body. Do what's good for your spirit, and you could have these same spiritual experiences. God bless you all. I love you guys. I'm glad to do God's work and spread knowledge.